who shall remain nameless, but hopefully, if they're listening to somebody, they know. Short answer to that question, yeah.
Very good. David, we do a thing on our show where we ask people for their fascinating fact, their fascinating story.
Okay.
You've got a few. Winning American Idol would definitely be considered a fascinating fact.
Yeah.
What's the story you tell friends, tell us a first date, this incredible experience that's happened to you that you're just wowed by?
I still think, there's been a lot of what the hell moments through all this, but I think the biggest one, it's a tie, really. I bring up the Manila, Philippines show a lot, and it was just because we were out on this U.S. tour at the time, and the crowds were great. We were doing I think 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 a show on average, and the crowds were amazing. And then we walked on stage in Manila, and they have such an insatiable appetite for all things Idol. It was me and Archuleta, and walk on stage 115,000 people.
Wow.
What? And it was just that absurd feeling. I was I remember somebody jokingly told me, and they were like, after 20,000, you can't really tell the difference. They were wrong. I took this picture from the side of the stage, and you see so faint in the distance, this McDonald's sign that's just, and that's where the crowd ended. And it's just what in the world am I doing here? And then I think our first show back in the States after that, we played this small club of 800 people, and this is oh yeah. So that was definitely kind of a feather in the cap moment. And then the other one was I was invited by Mary Steenburgen, the actress, to be a surprise guest at the Glamour Women of the Year Awards. I was a surprise guest for Hillary Clinton, who at the time was either still running for the Democratic nomination or had just stopped running for the Democratic nomination. But it was just absurd. I'm thinking, okay, 2.5 years ago, what was I doing? What am I doing right now? And the best part was, they had me walk from the back. We were at Carnegie Hall, which is another absurd aspect. But I walk into the back of the auditorium towards the stage while Mary's talking, and I realized very quickly that I don't think they briefed the Secret Service. Because I'm walking, I got my guitar in my hand like this. I see all these guys in suits kind of lined up along the wall and stuff, and all of them are just looking at me like, breathe wrong, dude. Just breathe wrong. You're going down. So I walked up to Hillary Clinton. I quickly said hello, and I was just like, I'm getting out of here. But to be able to play for her and for that audience and all that was I guess the word's absurd. I use that word a lot. I think a lot of this just feels really absurd. I've played music since I was 15, in one capacity or another, and so I feel like I know what I'm doing in those moments, but everything else is just what am I doing? Really? Hillary Clinton, the Philippines. I got a Christmas card from Barack Obama this year. Why? But I don't know. Stuff like that's really cool.
That's incredible.
Well deserved.
Thank you. Whoever said that.
When is the tour starting? And are you going to play the small venues still, or are you going to shoot for bigger ones?
I gotta say, everything's kind of wide open right now. I would love to start touring tomorrow, personally. I think Neil would agree with me that we're happy on the bus and on the road, So hopefully very soon. I know right now the main goal is to just get out here and promo this song and this record for everybody. As far as what we want to do, I don't know what the plan is. I know we're going to play through the summer, festivals and stuff like that, and we'll probably look to do a formal tour, I would think, beginning of the fall, into the summer. What we do then is up in the air. I would like to, I'd like to open our midline for somebody and get in front of more people, really. I'd love to do some international. I know I see a lot of fans from Brazil and Europe and stuff like that that are clamoring for us to get out there, and so hopefully we can do that. But yeah, I don't know. I've said it in a few interviews already. We did 154 shows on the last tour in a year. I would love to double that. I genuinely love being out on the road. It's my favorite part of this whole deal. So if the record does well enough and we can stay on the road for 2 years and play 300 plus shows, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You hang around with any of the other idols?
Do I hang out with the other idols? When I can. You know, I think everybody's kind of off doing their own thing. So we cross paths quite a bit. You know, I saw Carrie about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It was around her birthday. It was in Nashville riding. Just so happened to be in town. So we watched her husband's hockey game and ate a bunch of food that I probably wasn't supposed to eat. You know? And then you know, I see Archie every now and again. I try to keep up with him.
Are you still? I know like the way it is on Idol and everybody tries to be like your buddies. Or you guys, is it really like it is on TV as well, or is it?
It varies from season to season. I can't speak for other seasons. I can't say.
Well, yours with the people that tend to.
Yeah, I mean
you were with.
I thought we had a great season, and I never really felt like this weird tension with anybody. It never felt like we were competing against each other. I know it really gets played up on TV, but we all get along great. I saw Carly. She's doing Viva Elvis in Vegas right now at the Aria, and I got to go see her. We just kind of picked up where we left off, you know. And, yeah, and I hang out with Luke Menard quite a bit, who's an awesome dude. And then past that, yeah, I try to keep in touch with everybody. I talk to everybody as often as possible. I talked to Brooke White about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So, yeah, we're a good group. Uh-oh.
Microphone's freaking out.
Me too. Right?
How did the songwriting process for this record differ from the last one?
Oh.
And how did your NCAA bracket do?
I'll answer the second question first. Not good. Although I'm a big Mizzou fan, like Missouri's in my heart, and my brother somehow became a KU fan, and so I got to be honest with you, I was a little happy when KU lost. Sorry.
I had them winning, so I wasn't.
Did you?
I don't like them, but I had them winning, and they just screwed me.
Yeah, you know, it happens. As far as the writing process for this record, this was tough. This record was tough. And a little bit of it was self-imposed because I think I didn't want this record to be a downer, really, you know, and I think as I got off the road, all that stuff kind of came up. You know, my head wasn't in the best space for a while. And so I think writing about that was, I don't think anybody would want to hear a record of me, for lack of a better term, bitching and moaning about everything, you know what I mean? And so it was really just about taking that period of my life and trying to find the silver lining in everything, which I think actually worked perfectly. You know, when I talk in these interviews and I use words like most therapeutic record I've ever written, that's not lip service. I'm not just saying that. This record really was like, I should have paid this record like $300 an hour to just listen to me gripe about my problems. You know what I mean? It really was just such great therapy to just get it on paper and get it out of the way. And you know, the end result is what we wrote 80 plus records, or 80 plus songs for this record. You guys are going to hear 12 plus the bonus tracks. Yeah, I don't know. But the writing process was difficult, I think only because as high of a standard as I held myself to on the last record, that's tenfold on this one. Because I'd like to stick around a little while. I hope to be able to do a lot of these kind of things. You know?
We hope so too.
David, can you tell us about your tattoos?
Which ones? I have a few.
How many do you have?
Oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The fact that I can still count means that I don't have enough. This is my dog Dublin's paw print. I always get that reaction. It's such a downer tattoo. This is a buzzkill tattoo, I'm sorry. When my brother passed away, they read a poem called The Dash at his funeral, and this is the last stanza of that poem. I wanted to get it on my ribs, but my tattoo guy insisted I get it here. And now it's there. I got this this eye on my right wrist on the Idol tour. Just kind of remind me to keep my eyes open and appreciate everything around me, which I'm trying to do. This tattoo on my right forearm is a Banksy piece. And I always just kind of love that image. I don't know. It's funny, I got this tattoo. I had this coffee table book of Banksy stuff for like 2 years. And I'd always loved this image, so Neil and I threw our tattoo guys at home. And I was working on a chess piece that didn't end up happening. And at the last minute, I bailed on the chess piece, and I was like, well, let's just do this Banksy image. I've always wanted it, you know? So I got the tattoo, and then like 3 days later, I go to the grocery store, and the checkout lady's like, oh, have you seen the movie? What movie? I had no idea that Exit Through the Gift Shop existed at that point. I've since seen the movie, it's a great movie. Anyway. So she's like, yeah, it's a fantastic movie about Banksy and all these other street artists and da-da-da. And she goes, and check it out. Boom, exact same tattoo. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one. The 14 is, I tried to keep it secret for a while, but you guys are insatiable. This is actually how many cuts I made on Idol from first audition to and then I got an eagle here. Neil and I have a buddy tat, so he's got the same one. It's our friendship.
Got a lot of O's with your
So if he
tattoos.
ever turns into a jerk. I got AC on my upper left arm, and then I got a couple on the chest. It's a hot AC station.
We don't want much.
Hey.
Let's do a song.
Let's do a song, yeah.